Hello, buddy. Welcome back to Tin Man's Core Channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm reacting to my second nighttime Spooks video for you guys, and this was titled Three Creepy True Walmart Horror Stories. So without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera up here for you guys, and let's get this reaction on the road in the bag, shall we? I'll get over. Here we go.
Last year, I went to Walmart at about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
I occasionally worked really late, and on this day, I worked well past 1 a.m. I needed to get groceries, and I really wasn't that sleepy yet, so I decided to stop at Walmart, knowing the store was open, but nobody would be there. I got in the store, which was in fact dead, and started to shop. I only noticed a couple of other shoppers. When I got to the back corner of the store to get yogurt, I noticed a man standing next to the shelves, just staring at me. At first, I thought maybe he knew me, but I didn't recognize him at all.
I like going to Walmart when there's hardly nobody there, but I am not going to be waking up or waiting for 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning just to go, because I'll be in bed and sleep. But also, if somebody's staring at you while you're shopping and you don't recognize them, I would try to move to another aisle quickly. And if he follows you, find an employee to get that person away from you. Because I know that guy is probably a stalker, but this don't already sound good. So let's just continue on and see what happens next.
He kept a completely straight face. He just wouldn't take his eyes off me. I said hi and nodded my head at him. He just kept staring. Didn't acknowledge me at all. I thought something must be wrong with him, so I got the yogurt and moved on. When I left the aisle, I heard him start to follow me. I tried my best to just ignore him. Maybe he was playing a dumb prank on me or something. I only needed about 2 more things, so I quick grabbed them and headed to the self-checkout. The man followed me all the way there, about 20 or 30 feet behind me the whole time. When I was checking out, I thought about alerting a store worker about the man, but I decided not to. I just wanted to get my stuff and go home.
I know you just want to grab your things and just walk right on out of there, but he's going to still follow you and figure out which car you get into and might get in his car and follow you home. And you do not want that. I would have went to the store employee and told him that that man keeps on following me. Can you make sure he does not follow me to my car? Something like that, just to make sure that he don't follow you out the door. But man, that's already sounding more creepier by the minute.
I finished checking out and began walking to my car. I got out of the doors of Walmart, and the man continued to follow me out into the parking lot. I increased my pace to get to my car so I could drive away. Then, the man started to full out sprint at me. When I saw this, I ran to my car. I struggled to open the doors with bags in my hands. I finally got to the door and jumped inside. I slammed the door shut and locked it. The man reached my car and tried opening the door just a few seconds later. Now he didn't have a straight face anymore. He had a big smile which looked completely insane. He banged on my window until I quickly drove away. I have not shopped at Walmart since.
I'm not going to blame this person for not going to a Walmart employee, but they should have, because that incident would not have happened if you told an employee about what that guy was doing. They would have stopped him before he walked right out the door and just started running towards your car. Probably planning on grabbing her, maybe to kidnap her, worse, rob her. But thankfully she got in her car as quick as a flash, locked the doors, and just took off. But then when I got home, I would have been calling the Walmart manager and tell them what just happened, because then they can like ban him from entering any other Walmart ever again. It just seems like the creeps are either at places like this either late in the night or early morning. But anyway, let's get to story number 2, shall we?
A couple of years ago, I went to Walmart at night with two of my good friends, John and David. I don't remember exactly what we needed to get there, probably food or something, but I do remember that we wound up near the sports cards because John was really into them at the time. The three of us were in high school, and we were looking at a box of baseball cards when a man approached us. He looked to be about 25 to 30, was wearing a hood, and smelled like cigarettes. He asked us if we drove here and if we could give him a ride. I said, "No, sorry, I can't." He said that he didn't need to go very far, but he really needed a ride. I still said no, and he stood there for a good 10 seconds before finally walking away. My friends and I then went to another section of the store for a couple minutes before checking out and leaving. When we left the store, we saw the man again. He was standing outside the door smoking. He looked at us, so we tried to avoid eye contact, but he started to approach us again. We just ignored him. The man started to walk with us to my car. He said once more that he really needed a ride.
Oh man, this guy's never gonna let them go. I get you need a ride, but they don't want to take you because you're creeping them out. And I bet you if they accepted giving him a ride, he probably might pull a fastball on them and rob them and take the car. At this point, I'll be like turning around and saying, "Look, I'm sorry, we can't give you a ride. If you don't back away right now, I'm either going to go back inside and get a store manager to tell you to leave, or I'm going to call the cops to stop bugging us." But then he'll probably get up in the uproar and might want to pick a fight with you or something. But you just never know what would happen in situations like this.
I told him no yet again, and my friends and I got into my car. As we got in, to my surprise, he helped himself and got in the back seat. He said now we don't have a choice, with a smile. I told him to leave the car. He responded by saying he was not leaving until I drove him where he needed to go. Finally, I asked him where it was he needed to go. He replied by saying I would find out when I got there. This guy was being super sketchy, and I couldn't help but think of him having us drive him to a spot to get robbed or something. My friend John told him he was going to call the police if he didn't leave the car. The man said something along the lines of if we called the police, he would hurt us all. We were high school kids and not that big, but 3 against 1 I thought maybe we could take him. But then again, I had no idea what this man was capable of. The man told me to drive, and so I started to drive. Just a couple seconds later, though, to my surprise, we saw a police car that happened to be pulling into the parking lot. The man cursed at us and then told me to stop. I stopped the car and he got out. I don't know if the man just really wanted a ride or if he had bad intentions, but I'm glad I didn't find out.
Oh, thank God a cop was riding through the parking lot. But man, I thought they were going to pull up against a cop car and tell him that this guy wanted the ride, but we don't know him. And he said he was going to hurt us if we called you guys. And if there weren't no cops riding around, them boys probably would have got hurt, or they might end up getting robbed and killed, probably. But that guy was really bold and stupid just to jump into their car like that. Because if they were young high schoolers, they could have just grabbed him out of the car and started tackling him down to the ground and telling him to leave. But thank God they didn't have to do all that, and they didn't have to bear witness to that guy beating the crap out of him. He got out when he saw the cop car, and they were able to drive away and tell the story. But man, that's really freaky.
I work at a Walmart stocking shelves. I frequently work overnight shifts, and that's when much of the stocking is done. Our store is a 24-hour store, so I occasionally have to deal with customers, but usually I don't interact with them much at all. A couple of weeks ago, I was stocking the shelf of a cleaning supply aisle near the back of the store. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was restocking hand sanitizer when I heard someone walk from the aisle behind me to the aisle I was in. I briefly looked, and from the corner of my eye, I could see someone entering the aisle. I kept working, and I felt them walk past me into the other end of the aisle. The person then walked back over to me and tapped me on my shoulder. I looked, and I could see it was a man. He appeared to be about 25 years old, with a goatee and long hair. He asked me if I could help him with something. I asked him what he needed help with. He just stood there looking at me for a good 5 seconds before he responded. He finally told me that he needed some toothpaste. I told him where it was, but he insisted I go with. So I stopped working, got up, and started to walk with the man.
No. Don't walk with him. He's just trying to get you away from your duties of stocking the shelves just so he can force you to go outside with him. Because if an employee tells you where the toothpaste is, a normal person will automatically just say thank you and go to the spot. But not this guy. He's got something tricky up his sleeve.
As we were walking over, he seemed to know where we were going and was leading the way. When we finally arrived, I was shocked at what I saw. Just about every item from the shelves had been thrown onto the floor, and there was a huge pile of toothpaste, as well as toothbrushes and other items, all over the floor. The man just looked at me and smiled. I asked him if he did this. He smiled at me with a creepy smile and said yes. He then took off and sprinted away towards the exits and ran out the store. I ended up having to clean it up. This was by far the strangest thing that ever happened to me while working at Walmart.
I would never thought that I would hear a story about a employee being walked to a certain aisle and the person said that they were the ones that knocked everything off the shelves and just run off. Like, you not only wasted the employee's time from what duties they were doing earlier, and you committed a felony by just dropping a bunch of stuff on the ground, but you don't want to pick it up. That guy's really messed up and insane. I'm just glad that he did not decide to kidnap her or threaten her in any other way. But that is just really messed up that you make an employee just go over there and pick up all the toothbrushes and toothpaste that you made a mess of. Man, I hate people like that. Well, all right, everybody. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more nighttime spooks content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Quarter channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and I said that's a wrap, and have a nice day, y'all.